Now it's serious. It's like who I am. I am Christian. I am a follower of Christ. I will do everything in my life to try to glorify him as much as I can, All right. This video is going to be super stripped down. Yes, I'm talking to an acorn. I think I might restart this. I like to do fast cuts and all that stuff, and I just figured, I kind of want to venture towards the whole sit down and talk to my friends. Yep, you are my friend. And no, yeah, I just wanted to share really how my life has been, how I've gotten to this point in my life, and things along those lines, like my testimony, stuff like that, why I believe in God, why I love Jesus, why I share about Jesus so much, things like that. So here we go. So I could start with who am I, okay? So my name is Eliobed I am now 23 years old. The year is 2026, January 9th, just turned 2026. So I started this channel for really just sharing memories. I don't know if you followed this channel for a long time, but if you have, you can kind of tell that I've been going kind of all over the place, which is kind of my fault. But I don't know if it's bad to say that. I mean, maybe a lot of people are like, oh, you have to have a niche, and I like that. But the main reason I started recording or even picked up a camera was literally just to record memories. Because, for instance, when I was younger, I used to make little vlogs sort of things, and I like it because I can look back at all the footage and kind of watch myself grow, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I started this channel in hopes that I could just post kind of whatever and basically use it as a free storage for all of my video, or should I say movies. No, so I grew up watching Casey Neistat and vlogs and stuff like that. So the goal was to really just create something that I could look back at and cherish those moments and be thankful for the experiences that I've had, and just learn from all of that stuff. So yeah, now let's get into the nitty-gritty, as they say. So, when did I first encounter Christ? Okay, so I grew up in a Christian household, thank God. I was blessed to have that, blessed to have a mom that prays all the time, blessed to have a dad that also prays all the time and just guides me one step every day closer to the love of Christ and trying to attain a more Christ-centered relationship. And so yeah, I grew up in that kind of house. Always, I grew up really my parents are very much servants, I guess, of Christ, that you could say, because I would kind of be the child that was kind of the first one in church and the last one to leave. We'd open the church if necessary. We'd get there super early. I'd have to wake up at the crack of dawn. Not even at the crack of dawn. We'd have to wake up early, get to church, and it was still dark outside, kind of thing, on a Sunday, and then leave. 3 p.m., 4 p.m. It depends. But either way, I'm gonna kind of get into a little bit of theology here, if you don't mind. So yeah, I grew up the whole Pentecostalish background, and I first encountered Christ when I kept asking about him. Asking about him in the way that in prayer and searching in prayer who he was, how he could be God. If God, that just astonished me. It was or just surprised me. The idea of if God is real, shoot, I'm gonna have to believe in God. I don't know, just because how else is everything's so good, everything that's everything that is creation, sorry, is just so beautiful. And I'm very much in, I don't want to say I'm an artist, but I love creating things. I love creating, I love drawing. I mean, every chance I get, I try to draw something. I used to draw a bunch of name tags. And I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that I love to do artistically, including videos and audio and all these things. That's what I learned. But noticing that, and because of my servant-hearted family, parents, I was always wanting to also help out or learn more things. And that's kind of when I got into a lot of technology and video stuff. It kind of helped out with this. I got to learn everything I know about video editing, audio, stuff like that. Obviously, I'm still learning. I'm not saying that I'm like a crazy professional at it, you know. But I definitely learned so much from that. And so I was also helping serve, but I was serving without a purpose of like, why am I serving? It's more of just like, hey, yeah, I'm here. I can help serve, I guess. I mean, I learned that from my parents, just to be servant-hearted, if that makes sense. And sorry if this sounds like somewhat prideful. I don't mean to say that. I just, yeah, that's kind of, I'm just trying to explain what's in my mind, okay? There's a lot of stuff going on in my mind. I'm a little nervous too, okay? This is the first like longer video. I'm yapping a lot. But yes, I was praying on a Sunday or on a Friday night. I don't know. We had services on Friday night and Sunday mornings. And this wasn't until like my high school kind of age. I guess I was more of like a junior going into my senior year. I went to public school my whole life. It wasn't until the last 3 educational, I guess, high school-esque years of my life that I went to a Christian private school. And then, sorry, I'm like trying to remember everything. But yeah, my senior year, like I didn't really pay attention in class. I mean, you know, it's class, like what? I mean, paying attention as in I never really cared for all the Bible stuff that they would go over. Instead, it was just like in one ear, out the other. I learned academically. I learned things academically. I liked math growing up, stuff like that. So, but it wasn't until senior year that I really started questioning, what do I believe? Why do my parents serve so much? Why do people in general serve so much? So many people dedicate their time to something that I don't even agree with. Why am I serving my time, a lot of my time, to something I may not even agree with? So, yeah, I had read a verse, or growing up, I had remembered a verse that said like, "Seek and you shall find," and that stuck with me. And it was like, dang, okay, Lord, I'ma be seeking, you know, I'm seeking here, you know. And yes, I was just praying, and it just felt like I wasn't confident in my answer, whether God even existed or whether I believed in him or not. But after praying and diligently, like, I guess, searching and hearing things and actually paying attention to like my Bible classes and actually taking it all in, that not me, I don't even know, but because then it gets into the whole who you know, predestination, all that stuff. But no, just out of nowhere, I mean, like, I just started to find peace in that everything was made, including me and my life. Everything has its purpose, and that purpose is, or was and still is, designed by God. And hearing the story, hearing the gospel, and actually like understanding the gospel and how impactful or how intense the gospel is, It definitely pierced me in the heart. And then, just after that, it was conviction after conviction kind of thing. And yeah, I guess that's the whole sanctification period, if that makes sense. And yeah, I started reading more of the Bible, listening to more sermons. I remember I would sit down in my room and just look up, okay, like what sermon do I listen to on YouTube right now? I'd play it on the TV, grab my notebook, take notes. I loved it. It was it was an experience that I always loved to do. Still, to this day, I like listening to as many people talk about the Bible as much as I can, just because it's edificial. I think it's the most edificial thing we could do, which is why I talk about it right now. I think it's extremely important. So, yeah, that was this all actually happened during COVID, like that year. I graduated during COVID, so 2020, June of 2020. Always stuck inside the house and just looking up sermons, figuring out what I believed, why I believed it, and how can I get closer to understanding that belief and understanding, I guess, God. Understanding a glimpse of God. Okay, we'll say that. So, how did that affected my life? Actually, a lot, because when I switched to a Christian school, I was very focused on. I like to say I was very focused, but obviously, like, my grades didn't reflect that too much. I mean, I was a honor roll student. Honor roll principals list every once in a while if I felt like it, but no, yeah, I just didn't do homework. I was very terrible at that part, but doing the work was fun, I guess. So 10th grade, when I switched schools, it affected my life a bit much, because the plan was to get into like engineering and then learning about God, and also like with COVID and all, kind of changed my perspective on just life in general. Like right now, if I were to say how I think has changed, the first thing I always try to think about is how will this affect my faith, or how does my faith play a part in this, if that makes sense. Like that kind of viewpoint, it's like having glasses. I guess like the first thing I see is like through the lens of, well, through the lens of scripture, if that makes sense. Yeah, I hear that so often, it's funny, but now that I'm saying it, that's why I laugh. But ultimately, I guess that's what I like doing. I think God gave us his word, and God gave us our family and all these things, but ultimately, yeah, that filtering it through a Christian lens, through a Christocentric lens. Oh, what a word. Well, so yeah, it affected my life a decent amount. It changed the way I viewed things, and it kind of put me where I'm at now, and that's actually where I want to go. What I want to go over. So I work at church. Thank God. I love working at church. It is such a beautiful thing to just serve people, God's people, and yeah. I'm not gonna say which one, because I don't want you guys stalking me or anything. I know it's difficult, but I'd love to. I mean, you guys could probably find out if you watch my videos. But yeah, that's when I actually hadn't gone to college at that point. Like after COVID, I waited like a year or two. I kind of got into live streaming on Twitch for a little bit, and started making a little bit of videos. I actually don't. Oh yeah, a lot of video game-esque videos. I mean, that's how I got a majority of my subscribers, and I guess following. It was a great experience. I got to learn how to do a lot of editing stuff. But either way, then I went into college, and I was like, hey, I want to find a college that's close by, that obviously, but yeah, I just want to learn something. I don't want to stay at home and be playing video games all the time. I know some people do it and they make it work, but I like to move around a lot. I don't know if you know me personally, but I'm a very up and atoms kind of like, I always have to move around. But I went to physical college. I don't like online school, so it was close by, and actually it was like it was a blessing because it was a Christian like Bible college sort of thing, and I started going there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna graduate, get myself a nice little degree, right? And then I played soccer, and it kind of yeah, sports. Like I said, up and atoms kind of guy. I was introduced to the soccer team and all that stuff. Made some friends there. Played a little bit with them, and yeah. Then after like a year or two, I was just like, okay. I mean, my grades reflected it. Like, I just wasn't focused on the school. I was very focused on my friends and work. And I mean, I started working. That's actually when I started working at a church. I didn't lose any sort of like faith in Christianity. It was more of like, I was just not focused on academically, if that, like, I don't know. I guess I was really big on the whole networking thing. Still am, but yeah, made a lot of friends with the soccer team thing, and I learned a bit of theology. I'm obviously not gonna say that I didn't get a degree on it or anything, but I started like after college. One of the classes that struck me a lot was the church history class. Sorry, that was before I left college. And then I was like, I should take some time and learn about like early church father stuff, which is why I wear this bracelet. They're icons. I don't know if you're against the iconoclast. I personally love, like I mentioned, I love art, and I wear it just because I can look at it and be like, oh man, this faith that I have is thousands of years old, and it's beautiful. It's like, yeah, it reminds me that I'm not the only one that's fighting to keep my faith in a world that's so tough to keep the faith, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I had dropped out, really started working. I was interning at my church at the time. Beautiful stuff, just really wanted to get back to that relationship. Like, what did I believe? Stuff like that. Like I said, I was focused academically. I mean, it was the first 2 years of schooling. So, I don't know. I just kind of like lost focus of really studying and school. And kind of gave up after... I didn't give up learning. I gave up going to the college. Or going to college in general. I still love learning, and that's why I'm constantly on YouTube watching different interviews and podcasts and things like that in my free time, and reading. I mean, I have all these books for a reason. Well, those are all Bibles. Yeah, sorry. Okay, well, there's a lot of stuff. I like reading. I love reading, especially if it's very Christ, God, theology oriented. I think it's beautiful. I love to learn that sort of stuff, those sort of things. And yeah, I just left school because I was like, you know what, let me indulge and jump into this whole early church history thing, because I felt like I couldn't learn it. I couldn't learn all of it in a matter of a semester or 2 semesters. Like, I got an idea of it, but I loved the art. I loved I wanted to learn all about it. Okay. And so, yeah, I was like, let me take some time and do that. So working, reading, watching YouTube podcasts all about it. It was a big, orthodoxy phase kind of thing where it's, I watched a lot of that. But I think that's where my faith really like pushed through, and it was like man, now it's serious. It's like who I am. Like, I am Christian. I am a follower of Christ. I will do everything in my life to try to glorify him as much as I can, And yeah, I mean, just learning from the lives of I don't know if you would call them this, but learning from the lives of saints or early church fathers, St. Augustine, Basil, so many people, Athanasius, oh my gosh, beautiful, beautiful, amazing works that they've made. And yeah, it bypassed a mindset that I had of like, okay, my faith is only 20, as old as I am, 20 years old. No, my faith, like this Christian thing has been going on for thousands of years, and that's where it's like, oh man, I have to learn this stuff. So that was the exciting part for me. But I dropped out of a degree. That's actually when I took another year, and I was just like, okay, I'm learning all these things, and I'm trying a little bit of YouTube. I got into YouTube a lot there because I was posting clips. But the main thing and this kind of messes with me now, back then I was really focused on posting content that, like, for me now, it seems a bit like the heart towards it just sounds like, okay, just imagine this. I'm gonna punch you, and then I'm gonna tell you about the gospel. Like, I don't know, like it just seemed different, and I personally, which is why it's not posted right now, I just don't like it too much. I know I'm my biggest, harshest critic, but I think I could have done better in presenting the gospel and sharing the gospel. And yeah, at that time I was about 21, 22-ish maybe. My goal now for this YouTube channel is literally just to kind of keep on pushing for the gospel. I think that obviously mission starts with like your city, where you're at right now. Like, how are you spreading the gospel with the people you know now? And for me, I find it a lot easier to talk to a camera. Well, not really. I don't know about easier. I kind of like both, but I don't find it hard to talk to the camera like other people say they do. And I was just like, why not use the gift that God gave me with camera stuff and just like talk on the camera, and share the gospel not only to my city, but also to the four corners of the earth or whatever, like that's referencing a Bible verse. Either way, to the world. Why not share it to the world, right? The internet is so powerful, and so now, just like, I'm gonna try to focus on spreading the gospel through the internet. And I've done a couple mission stuff, I guess, if that makes sense, like just going out and talking to people about Jesus, and I love it. I mean, I like the interaction, but I love also sitting here and writing my thoughts down and doing research and sharing that with you guys, because everything I learn, I'm just like trying to explain to you guys. So, talking about learning, what is the most important thing that I've learned throughout this whole 25 minutes? No, 23 minutes-ish. What have I learned in the past couple of years? I would say to my 9th grade self, maybe like 16-ish years old, I would say to be patient. At the time, I wasn't really looking for Christ, but also, yeah, like I was kind of like just lost, as in lost with where I'm gonna go, the trajectory that I'm heading towards. Changing schools made that difference, but there was crap, and this is difficult to say now because back then I was, oh wow, it was tough, man, and I just didn't know where I would be. And where I'm at now, I have more of a trajectory than I did before. And obviously that comes with time. I think everybody goes through that. But the most important thing for me was God. and it changed my life so much. I wouldn't know where I would be. I mean, everybody says this. Yes, we get it. You don't know where you would be without God in your life, but really, like, dude, I could be dead, for crying out loud. I mean, I could be. I probably would be 1,000 miles from here, addicted to some sort of drug or whatever. I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm not, and I'm here. And I'm here where I think God has positioned me to be so that I could talk to you guys. And I mean, like, when I look back, I see a beautiful, like, line, like a stringed kind of line, nylon kind of string or whatever. And man, I just love it. I mean, I think that was the main thing for me, was just be patient in God's plan. Be patient in general. Patience can take you a long way. And yeah, trust in God, you know. If you haven't heard of the gospel, Jesus Christ, he died on the cross for you and I. He loves us so much. Jesus Christ, being God, died on the cross and resurrected on the third day. And he defeated death, the sting of death. You and I deserve sin. Like, you and I deserve some sort of punishment for our sin, for the wrong things that we do. We fall short, okay? And Jesus, being the only person, oh my goodness, that's insane to think about. He's the only one that could have done what he did, and he did it for you and I. And yeah, I mean, he did it because he loves us, and he continues to love us. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I know I've been talking, I know it's a little tough, but yeah, I kind of want to aim towards these type of videos. That's the idea. With all the fast-paced edits and all these things, like, it just gets tough. And ultimately, like, how can I just talk with no editing, just raw, just talking, you know? So I'll leave you to it. God bless you. Thank you for listening. Go to church if you haven't been in a while. It's a good idea. All right, peace.